Used to be on camera.
That's all right. What's your name?
Charlie Lord.
Charlie.
Lord, L-O-R-D.
Okay. And you were saying that you rode out the storm on
Lavallette. We were on Vance Avenue in Lavallette.
Okay.
We stayed through it. We just got off Saturday night.
Okay.
We finally got some gas. Somebody had siphoned the gas out of our vehicle. If you were in the ocean block and your vehicle was hidden behind the houses, it didn't get water. Everybody down from 35 to West Point Island in Lavallette.
Right.
Everything was underwater. So their trucks wouldn't run, their cars wouldn't run.
Right.
People soon realized that the people up higher ground, up by the top of the streets, their vehicles were safe.
Tell me about your experience as the storm came in and all that.
It came up so quick. My wife had wanted to leave, and I said no. I was through a storm of 62. It's going between a tropical storm and a Category 1, so I knew the house wasn't going to blow apart. And I wish the hell I'd gotten off when the governor said to get off. He was right, or anybody else. But when I looked out the front door, we were about 6 houses from the ocean, and I opened the door and I saw the foam going down both sides, and I knew we breached, and I knew it was gonna. And I said, it started to come down the street. I turned to talk to my wife. I turned around and it was halfway up our front yard, in that quick a time to the flagpole, which isn't a lot, but it was enough. I went back to use the bathroom, and I wasn't supposed to but anyhow, I wasn't going 2 minutes.
Okay.
I came back and it was up to our second step in front of our house, and as I was standing there looking, a chunk of something came up, boards just lifted up, and you heard it crash, you could hear wood ripping apart. And I turned to my wife and said, I think I made a fatal mistake. And I am sorry. Because she wanted to go and I wanted to stay. So at that point I was scared to death. I thought for sure I screwed up. Just the sand, everything just kept washing by. It looked like a raging river going down our street. It was unbelievable. But the tide came up to about the third step, and then that was as high as it went. It never really got in. We got some water and broken windows and stuff. Doors were messed up, but other than that, we survived it. Us and our animals. So we didn't have a lot of options of where to go, and with the animals and everything else. So we rode it out, but it was unbelievable. At that high tide, when it breached, it was for a half an hour to an hour. It was very scary.
When did the water finally start to recede?
I'm going to say, well, it stayed high. It almost didn't recede. It went down to the first step, probably by 10 o'clock. But then it never went any lower than that. And then I thought, okay, it'll go down overnight. And when I got up in the morning, it was back up to the second step. And I thought, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Because the bay had been so low the night before, we were going down and looked at it. And I thought, well, it's got plenty of room for the water to go. And it just didn't go back down. So we were fortunate enough, I guess, the sand from all the dunes had washed down our street, and there was actually a sandbar in front of our house. So let's say there was a foot and a half of water in front of our house.
Right.
25 feet away, there was a sandbar from front of our house all the way up to the street, so then it was dry up to the ocean. So my wife and I actually put bathing suits on in the morning and collected wood from the boardwalk and made a bridge across so we could get our dogs out so they could do what they had to, and so we could walk across without having to wade through the water all the time. But then it took a day and a half or so for the water to actually start going down. We still had water for 2 days in front of our house. In our backyard, it took 3-4 days. So it was, but at that time, that 8:30 to 10 o'clock was one of the scary experiences. And like I said, I thought I made a fatal mistake, and not that I knew better than them, I just never thought, because of the winds and stuff, I never expected that kind of amount of water coming.
How long have you lived in Lavallette?
Pretty much all my life. I moved off when we got married to Tom's River for a few years, but since 1957, basically.
Okay.
And my brother rode it out also. I haven't seen him. I heard he's okay. You weren't allowed to walk around. After the first day, that was it. We got to walk around and look around. There was houses in the middle of the highway, and Orly Beach was devastating.
Right.
Southern end of Lavallette. Never got to talk to my family. Our phones went dead. We had no power. There was nothing we could do. Everybody was pretty much on their own. And then there was was three families on Orr Street that stayed, and then a couple streets over there was some people, and everybody kind of helped each other. The guys down at Lenny's had ice, we had food, other people had, we got the barbecue, so we cooked, and at dinner, we all kind of worked together and worked it out.
Where are you staying now?
Right now we're staying, my son has a house in Tom's River. He's got other people there, so we need to find a place quickly, but for the time being it's a couch and